You there! Greetings, ladies and germs, and welcome to this new video. I'm fulfilling a long requested video, which is my CD music collection. That's what I'm going to be showing you today. The question here now is, where are the CDs? Where's the music I'm going to be showing you? Well, we'll get to that right now. It is right down there. That sizable collection that I just showed you is not even half the amount that I own. A lot of the CDs I own are actually in my car right now, or downstairs. Not to mention this leaning tower of CDs, literally that goes down to the floor. I own so much music now that it's difficult to keep it all in one place. You've noticed there's a shelf right next to me, currently occupied by my Doctor Who DVD collection. A very big collection, I must say. But it's not doing much right now, so we're gonna evict it from its rightful place for this video, and this video alone, and use this perfectly good shelving unit to show off and showcase the metal CDs, the rock CDs, the punk, industrial, you name it, on this shelf altogether. In a sort of alphabetical order. It's just going to be a way to show it all in one place, really. I'm going to skip through the boring bit, for your sake, and rip out those DVDs and replace them with the metric fuck ton of CDs that I'm going to be showing you in this video. So, let's just get into it. And there you go. God, you guys have literally no idea the time skip between cuts there. It has been an hour or so of just rearranging and organising, and this is what we got. We got 3 full rows of music, plus below these Doctor Who are the rest, which is another 2 full rows of discs plus some overflow, which makes this music collection here more than double, way more than double since the last one. So yeah. Oh, and if you're wondering why this strip of Doctor Who is here, ignore it. But also, if you're wondering where the rest of the Doctor Who is, let's try not to worry about them falling on top of me as I'm doing this. Let's hope that if it does fall on me, it breaks my neck and kills me instantly. Right, let's get into the CD and music and metal collection of 2025. So also for the first 4 rows or so, they are pretty well organised alphabetically, and then the row below that is the overflow that I really couldn't be asked to organise alphabetically, but we'll get to that stuff down there when we get to it. Let's just get in and start with the A's, with Airborne, with Running Wild, Black Dog Barking. Then we have some Amon Amarth, decent, healthy amounts, better than before. We have Odin on a Side, Seta Rising. My favourite is still Twilight of Thunder Gods, still one of the best death metal albums ever. Seaver of the Gods is pretty good. Jom's Viking and then Berserker a bit so-so. We have Angel Witch here. We have Anthrax Among the Living and Madhouse, 2 essential purchases. We have a brilliant prog rock opera album here with Aeon Electric Castle. Highly recommend this. Now move into the Avenged Sevenfold section, which would not take long for us to get to, obviously. They're one of my favourite bands, if not my number one. We have the Warmness on the Soul EP, which I had to track down, and that I did. 7th Trumpet. Then we have Waking the Fallen, and then also we have the resurrected version with all the demos. We have City of Evil, obviously, self-titled. Then we have All Access CD here, good fun. Obviously Diamonds in the Rough, Nightmare, and then we have Hail to the King, The Stage, and then of course Life is But a Dream. And then oh, I forgot I had this on the shelf. This is actually my bootleg of the Pinkly Smooth album. Then we have some Arch Enemy with Doomsday Machine and War Eternal, the latter being one of my favourites from back in the day. I do love Doom Machine, yeah, Doomsday Machine as well though. Obviously you can see some Black Sabbath here with Paranoid, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath and Heaven and Hell. I would say that those 3 are my favourite Sabbath albums. I think it's a safe bet. Just have a greatest hits of Sabbath as well tucking in there after that. Then we have my 3 Bungle CDs with the self-titled, Disco Volante, California, and the Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny demo. Yeah, a absolutely perfect
discography with Mr. Bungle, so I just had to own all of it. From one amazing band to another, we have Bloodbath next. I don't own all of their stuff, unfortunately, but ironically, the Breeding Death EP, I'm sorry, that costs way too much money, for my liking at least. But no, we move on. We have Resurrection Through Carnage, Nightmares Made Flesh, we have the Fathomless Mastery, then we have the live Wacken performance CD, which has their live recordings from 2005, which was a very good find in my opinion. And then cutting ahead, we have the Survival of the Sickest one, which is a great album in my opinion. People have a very mixed opinion on the Nick Holmes era of Bloodbath, but I'm a big fan of it. I say that I don't own any other Nick Holmes CD of Bloodbath, but I'm working on that. I do quite like Grand Morbid Funeral, and I've definitely over the years warmed up to Arrow of Satan's Drawn. It's difficult to track down the CDs for those ones. And obviously one of the best items of the Bloodbath catalogue is Fathomless Mastery, because it has all of the Unblessing the Purity tracks as bonus tracks on this full length, which was a fucking find that I did not realise until I'd bought the CD already, because I was happy with just the studio album of that. I didn't need the bonus tracks on there, but I got them and I was over the moon about it. Now I move on to my only Cannibal Corpse CD, which is their second to latest one now, with Violence Unimagined. It is a cracking one. We do have Carcass here with Heartwork, one of the best albums ever made. And then I liked it so much that I got the special edition as well. I'm joking, by the way. I bought this one first, and out of the shrink wrap, it had disc 1 completely missing. I'm not shitting you. I had disc 2, but disc 1 was not in the shrink wrap. This was a brand new CD that I bought, and I was very pissed off, which is why I ended up having to buy this one, which actually had the full fucking album on it. Jesus H. Christ. What a lovely find that I did have was the Heartwork EP, which is, I think, quite difficult to find, but I own it, and I'm very, very happy to own it. So, there. And then we have Surgical Steel up next, which is another one of the best albums of the death metal variety in my eyes. So much so that I got the Surgical Steel EP as well, or Surplus Steel I think it's called, which has a bunch of other cool shit on there. Yeah, lovely stuff. Now moving out of death metal for a bit, we move into COC, a little bit of Corrosion of Conformity. Love a bit of cock. Yep, joke had to be made. We have Animosity. We have, I was about to say Confrontation, but I meant to say Deliverance. Then we have Blind, and then we have Wise Blood. I've wanted to do a Discog ranking of COC for a while, and I might still do that. I've actually got American Volume Dealer on the way in the post. I was hoping that it would arrive before I'd started recording this video, but it was getting late, so I just ended up doing it. But yeah, I quite like COC, so I'm not sure which would be my favourite though. It'd definitely be one of these four, if not American Volume Dealer. I do really like Wise Blood and Blind, so maybe one of those two, but it's just quite a fun discography, especially their early stuff. Now I move on to my only Children of Bodom CD with Are You Dead Yet? This is the first one I heard of theirs, and definitely is the best one in my eyes, but they haven't really... They've made some other good ones, but not enough for me to want to pick them up. We have my only Devin Townsend CD, which is Shameful, with Terrier, which is quite a good one. Actually, I love Earth Day, stuff like that on there. We have Dark Throne with Panzerfaust, one of the best black metal albums ever made. I will stand by that. That is a hill that I'm willing to die on. And now, a nice little double album thing here. We have Devastator, a very underrated thrash band. We have Baptized in Blasphemy, their first one, their original copy from 2020, by the way, not the re-release. And then we have Conjurers of Cruelty, their album from earlier this year. I love Devastator. They are one of my favourite thrash bands. So yeah, going from one of the heaviest bands in here to one of the most jolly, we have Daft Punk with definitely a surprise, I imagine, for some people watching. But yeah, Random Access Memories. An album that I really love to bits. Yeah, nothing more to say here, just really, really good stuff. Doesn't have to be metal for me to enjoy it. Up here, we'll get through this one real quick. We have the Dio 5-pack with Holy Diver, Last in Line, Sacred Heart, Dream Evil, and Lock Up the Wolves. It's a great pack. I got this for a tenner, like ages ago now. and it was a very good find. It is very, it quenches my thirst. If I want to listen to a Dio album, just pick this 5-pack up, and then it becomes a whole other can of worms, because I'm like, which one do I listen to? The answer's Holy Diver. It's not actually that easy. I do like Last in Line and Dream Evil quite a lot, but I digress. Right, now we move on to my Dream Theater selection. We have Images and Words, Awake, Change of Seasons, which is a very underrated piece in Dream Theater's discography, Scenes from a Memory, we have Systematic Chaos, we have Train of Thought, Octavarium, they're self-titled, Dramatic Turn of Events, Astonishing, Distance Over Time, a very underrated one. This was the first one I heard of theirs, and it took me long enough to get this, but I wanted to make sure that when I picked this up, I'd be picking up the special edition which had Viper King on it, because Viper King is the most underrated Dream Theater track in my opinion. And then their newest so far, with View from the Top of the World. Parasomnia is coming out in a month's time, just over a month, and I am planning at some point to do a Discog ranking of Dream Theater. I don't really know when though. I don't think I'm going to be able to coincide it with their newest album release like I did with Opeth's from last year, but I'm going to try and not leave it too long before Parasomnia becomes old news. But I have wanted to say my piece on Dream Theater for a long time in a video, so ranking their discography is something that has been on my to-do list for quite a while. But anywho, now we move on to the last little leg of this first row with Entombed, Left Hand Path. Yeah, enough said. It's iconic and famous for a reason, enough said. And then Clandestine. Another fucking amazing album. You know what? I'm gonna blow up the internet with this opinion, by the way. Out of these two albums, Clandestine's my favourite. There you go. I'm going to quickly drop that bombshell. I know I'm going to get sauce in the comments for saying that, but that's my opinion, so if you don't like it, shove it. Then we have 2 Enslaved albums. I need so many more than just the 2, but yeah, maybe one day I'll be able to pick up more. But yeah, we have Rita, if that's how you say that, and then their other album, E, which definitely a really good one. But they're both really good, to be fair. Enslaved is just a very solid band. And then we have 2 thrash bands on the end here with Evil, Enter the Grave, and then this lone Exodus album with Persona Non Grata, their newest release. Fun stuff. Right, down to the second row. We still in alphabetical order here. God fucking damn it, I'm inventing new words with how much I'm stuttering right now. But yeah, we're starting on this row with a lot of pop punk and rock, so we've got a lot to get through here. So let's go through it. So with the Fs, we have Foo Fighters with their self-titled here. I don't have Colour of the Shape down here because me and my dad kind of share the pop punk and rock stuff, like the Queens and the Green Days and the whatevers. So if there's any CDs missing from Foo Fighters discog, Green Day or Queen for that matter, whenever we get to them, there they are. It's because my dad has stolen them off me and hasn't allowed me to show them in this video. So if they're not here, blame him, because I have all of the discography for Green Day, Foo Fighters and Queen, but unfortunately not all of them are here to showcase today. But nonetheless, like I say, we skip Colour in the Shape. We have this one, we have In Your Honor, we have Wasting Light, Concrete and Gold, quite a good one, and the newest one here. And then on the end, a Greatest Hits. I'm gonna chuck the newest one up here so that it's not as wedged in. Also have, speaking of pop punk, this lone Fall Out Boy CD here. And then shifting gears very dramatically for a quick second to some technical death metal, we have Gojira, Blonde Font Sauvage. I really did want to pick up Master Sirius and Magma, but unfortunately I haven't been able to yet, but it is on my to-do list, don't worry. And now I move on to the sizable Green Day with 39 Smooth, Kaplunk, Dookie, Somniac, Nimrod here, Warning, and then up here we have American Idiot, which I'll just shove up there now, as well as the stage show of American Idiot of the same name. Excellent thing to listen to, by the way, I must say. Then we have the international super hits with a few extra tracks in there that aren't on any studio albums. God, it is not focusing for shit. 21st Century Breakdown. We have these three of the trilogy, Uno Dos and Trey. Revolution Radio, one of their best. Father of All, and then Saviours, their newest, which actually isn't that bad. Yeah, quite a fun album there. Oh shit! And I just realised we passed the Fs. We have Faith No More with one of the best albums ever made, The Real Thing. I think it's fucking excellent, and more people need to listen. Who am I kidding? Everyone listens to this. What did I say? Well, yeah, you could always have more people listening to the album, but I don't think there is anyone who hasn't heard the album by now. Now we move on to the little stint of Guns N' Roses with Appetite for Destruction. Quite a good album. Chinese Conspiracy. And then a Greatest Hits here. Most of the greatest hits that I owned are actually due to my dad. If he's in the car, he doesn't want to sit for a whole album sometimes, so he buys these greatest hits for like Guns N' Roses or whatever, for convenience, for his sake. Even though I don't really see the point for this greatest hits, because in my opinion, the Guns N' Roses greatest hits is this one. Anyway, speaking of greatest hits, we have a Halloween greatest hits here. Then we move on to all of the Iron Maiden and Judas Priest coming up with self-titled, Killers, Number of the Beast. Oh, we have Peace of Mind, Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, Seventh Son, No Prayer for the Dying, Fear of the Dark, Brave New World, Dance of Death, Matter of Life and Death, Book of Souls, and then Senjutsu, or Zenjitsu, whatever you want to say. We also have this Ibaraki, or Trivium side project is actually what it is. It's like a black metal act. It's called Rashomon, and it's fucking brilliant. It's brilliant stuff. It's true post-black metal. It's really good. Highly recommend that album. Then we move on to Dark Assault and The Landing by Iron Savior. Pretty good power metal supergroup, if I do say so myself. Now on to Judas Priest, Killing Machine. We have Defenders of the Faith. We have Screaming for Vengeance, Point of Entry, British Steel, Turbo, Painkiller, and then Power Fire. Here you go, Power Fire. And I don't have Invincible Shield. I haven't got around to picking that one up yet, but I will. At some point, maybe. Cool, and now we move on to another one of my favourite bands. We have King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Yeah, so we have I'm in Your Mind Fuzz, Paper Mache Dream Balloon, Nonagon Infinity, Flying Microtone Banana. I think this is Murder of the Universe next. Yup. We have Gumboot Soup, Sketches of Brunswick East. We have Polygon of Wonderland. Fuck me, there's so many. We have Infest the Rat's Nest. We have KG and LW. We have Butterfly 3000 and then Flight B741. Great discography from King Gizzard. I don't own even half of the albums that they've created. They're like at 25, 26 by now. I've got like 10 or 12 in that little stint there. Partially because they just don't sell all of their albums on CD, unfortunately. Like, I was looking for Petrodragonic Apocalypse on CD the other day and I couldn't find it. I don't think it's available. Or if it is, it's not available in my country, which sucks ass. But this is what I own of their catalogue. I will make a video, by the way, on King Gizzard at some point. You can bet good money on that. But until that day, we're going to move on. Next we have Hot Fuss by The Killers, Sawdust, Sam's Town, Day and Age, get back in there, and then Battleborn. Yeah, all I'll say about The Killers is they peaked early. Then we have The Kinks' greatest hits right here. That's also courtesy of my dad. He obsesses over the Kinks, especially this CD. We have Caius with Wretch, really good album. I have been meaning to get the other Caius albums, like Blue for the Red Sun and Sky Valley, stuff like that, but haven't got around to it. But this is the best one for me, personally. We have Ashes of the Wake, Sturm am Drang, And then we have Wrath. And then on to Machine Head, we have Burn My Eyes. We have More Things Change. Through the Ashes of Empire, Ooze. Blackening. And then the Burning Red, one of the best nu metal albums in my eyes. And then we move on to some industrial metal here for good measure with Ministry, Psalm 69, excellent album. And then right on the end, just to top it all off, we have the Mars Volta, with the only album of theirs I own, which is not just The Mute, which is The Mute. Let me start that again. France's The Mute. You can't even see that on the spine. Fuck's sake, in this lighting. But there you go. That was the second row. Now let's move on to the third. Okay, so the third shelf. We get into the Man of War now with Battle Hymns, their first album. Pretty good actually. Oh, it's getting a bit tight down here too. I'm going to have to stick this up on top. Then we have their EP Thunder in the Sky. I'm pretty sure their discography is in the wrong order CD wise. I do apologise, but this is a pretty good EP. Definitely recommend it. We have this Digipack collector's box with Fighting the World, Kings of Metal and Triumph of Steel. But Triumph of Steel also shows up loose here, but I got second hand as well. Fun stuff. Now we move on to Marduk with Victoria. This is in the wrong order. Let me put that there. We start with Marduk with Panzer Division Marduk, one of the best black metal albums, and then their other album Victoria from later in their career, Zack. After that we have one of the best prog metal albums with Crack the Sky by Mastodon. Fucking amazing album. I can't say enough good things about it. We have this 2-pack of Megadeth with Countdown to Extinction and Rust in Peace. Next we have Metallica with Kill 'Em All. Then we have Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. We have Justice for All, their Black Album, Garage Inc., Death Magnetic, and that's it, because I did not get 72 Seasons or Hardwired. Now, let's move on to some death metal finally. Right, Morbid Angel, Malters of Madness. Absolutely excellent album. Brilliant stuff. And then we have, let me start that again. They are in the wrong order. You did not see that. Next we have Napalm Death with Scum, From Enslavement to Obliteration, blah 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 blah, Harmony Corruption, Fit Emptiness and Despair, Inside the Torn Apart, Enemy of the Music Business, Order of the Leech, The Code is Red, Long Live the Code, Time Waits for No Slave, Utilitarian, and Apex Predator Easy Meat. And then we have their EP as well, In Tongues We Speak. Pretty fun stuff. I love Napalm Death. If you couldn't fucking tell, I'm eating my own hair. Next we have Nile, Those Whom the Gods Detest. Then we have 9 Inch Nails with Pretty Hate Machine, Broken and Fixed, Downward Spiral, The Fragile, With Teeth, and Year Zero. Quite a fun discography. We have Nirvana with Nevermind, the album everyone's heard and no one wants to hear again. I quite like it though, I won't lie. There are some really fun tracks on there. Now we move on to my Opeth collection. Oh boy! We have My Arms Your Hearst, a recent edition. Wasn't even present when I did the album ranking of this band. We have Still Life with Digipack. And then we have Still Life again because the previous copy that you just saw is ripping apart, so I needed to replace it. Then we have Blackwater Park, Deliverance, Damnation, Ghost Reveries, one of the best albums ever made, Watersheds, Incauda Venom, and then Lost Will and Testament. I've ranked Opeth very recently, so I'm not going to tell you my thoughts on them. All I will say is I really wish that I owned Morning Rise in here, as well as Heritage. The other albums I will get eventually, but those ones are top of my list of priorities to get in as far as Opeth is concerned. Now let's move on to Overkill. We have Years of Decay, one of the best thrash albums in my opinion, absolutely excellent. Horoscope, Grinding Wheel, and then Ironbound, brilliant stuff. And now Pantera, a band that needs no introduction. We start with a legendary album, to say the least. We have Cowboys from Hell. From one legendary album to another, Vulgar Display of Power. And obviously To Far Beyond Driven. Speaks for itself, really, especially when it hit Billboard 200 at number 1. Drake 7 Trendkill, the most underrated of the pack of Pantera in my opinion. And then Reinventing the Steel, a perfect legacy of albums, those 5. And then I have a Reinventing Hell Greatest Hits live performance thingy-majig. Great. And then sat on top here to finish off the Pantera segment, Maximum Pantera. A full story with interviews and a free mini poster. Fun. Yeah, bet you're jealous about that one, huh? Now I move on to Primal Fear, a great power metal band there. And then we move on to Queen. My apologies. We actually start with Queens of the Stone Age with Songs for the Deaf, an album that is absolutely brilliant in my opinion. And now we move on to Queen, which I have all of the albums here, I believe, and unless I am indeed missing one or two, and if I am, then, like I say, blame Dad. Right, let's begin. We have Queen, Queen 2, Sheer Heart Attack, Night of the Opera, brilliant album, Day of the Races, News of the World, Jazz. Do you like jazz? Yes, I do. The Game, Hot Space, The Works, Kind of Magic, Innuendo, Miracle, Made in Heaven, and then Cosmos Rocks. They should have stopped there, shouldn't they? And then we do have this little thing poking out here, the Face It All Alone EP single thing. Fun. And I was stand corrected, there was indeed one that was missing, and that was Flash. Because my dad probably has that. Oh, speaking of my dad though, these are the CDs that he owned when he originally was listening to Queen. Hence you can see the original stickers down there. You can tell because it says fucking Woolworths for £8. Fuck me. That ages these CDs and some. Ironically though, and this says stuff about my dad, there's not a scratch on any of these discs, which means he clearly cared about his music, or at least about Queen. Now, ending off the third row with Rob Zombie, and then we have these 2 Rush albums here, with Caress of Steel and Permanent Waves. Right, that was the end of row 3. Now it's time for row 4. The sound effect was necessary, by the way. Alright, here we go. Yes, I am sat down for this, by the way, because everything in my body is aching because I've been at this for an hour already. Not to mention the hour before I started shooting where I was arranging this fucking shelf. Holy shit, those DVDs look even more daunting from down here. Let's ignore that and get straight into the Ramones with their self-titled Rocket to Russia, with Brain Drain, excellent album, and then we have the Poison Heart EP. I do need to own more Ramones, in fairness. They are a band I really love. Yeah, Road to Ruin would have been one I would have liked to have gotten. Maybe Mundo Bizarro. Not dreadful albums they have under their belt, so very good band. Then we have Sabaton with Prima Victoria, then The Great War, and then after that we have Sepultura. I have most of the Sepultura catalogue now. I think I'm missing 2 albums from their later career and then that's it. So let's get into it. Morbid Visions, Schizophrenia, Beneath the Remains, Arise, Chaos AD, Roots. We have Sepul Nation, which has Against, Nation, Rawback, Dante 21 and Alex. Or Alex, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then I'm missing The Mediator. I think that's the only one I'm missing now, and then I own all of the Sepultura albums. That's bonkers, actually, that I've already got them all. Because afterwards you can see Machine Messiah, the special edition of Machine Messiah as well. Great CD and great album. And equally, another great album is Quadra. People like to shit on Sepultura's late career because it doesn't have Max Cavalera, and you know what I have to say to that? Derek Green needs more respect and love, god damn it, because I really like Sepultura's late career as much as their early career in my eyes. I think they've made great albums on both sides of the coin. But anyway, now we move on to Sonic Youth's album with Sister, a great album in my opinion. Then we have Slipknot with their self-titled and Iowa, 2 brilliant albums frankly. But surprisingly, I prefer the first one to Iowa. I know everyone tends to like both of these albums, but they always favour Iowa over the self-titled, but I'm the other way around. I think the self-titled is a stronger outing, especially considering it was their first. But that might just be me, but who cares? Right, next we have Slave to the Grind by Skid Row. Then we have Sisters of Mercy with Floodland. Fucking god tier album. It is fucking legendary. Look at these tracks. You can't go wrong. Look at that. Oh, it's me in the reflection as well. Hello. And now I move on to Slayer. Right, we have Show No Mercy, Rain in Blood, South of Heaven, Seasons in the Abyss, Divine Intervention, Undisputed Attitude, God Hates Us All, and then Christ Illusion. I don't have Repentless, and it's shameful that I don't. Moving on to another of my favourite bands, we have Sonata Arctica, which I need to own more of, frankly, but we have Ecliptica, which is amazing, Silence, which is almost equally amazing, Pariah's Child, which is brilliant, and then Talvio, which is underrated. People like to shit on this one because it isn't power metal, but I'm a big fan of it, and I think it needs more love. But then again, the band at large needs more love than they get, because I think they're great, and I am in the works of doing a discography ranking of Sonata Arctica, so watch this space for that, because lots of fresh takes will be had from that symphonic metal powerhouse. Right, I'm going to show you this Tomahawk CD now. It's got an interesting digipack case there. And now move on to Soulfly Primitive, Soulfly Free. Love Soulfly. Soulfly are great. They came out of necessity when there was a drought in Sepultura albums for me. Any Sepultura fan who is yearning for more always flock to Soulfly when looking for more, and who can blame them? Soulfly's great. We have a couple Status Quo CDs here with Rockin' All Over the World, and then Keep On Rockin'. Then we have Twisted Sister with You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. We have Testament with The Legacy, Testament, The New Order, Testament, The Ritual, Formation of Damnation, and Dark Roots of Earth. Brilliant. I need to own more Testament as well, to be honest with you, especially Times of Creation. A very much needed album that I need to have in my hands. I need my grubby mitts on it, because it's a great one. Especially after seeing them live. But anyway, now we move on to Trivium, which I own all of Trivium now. The only one I don't own is Silence in the Snow, because it's not one of my favourites. But let's go through. We have Ember to Inferno. We have Ascendancy, Crusades, Shogun, brilliant. In Waves, brilliant. This is the special edition, and then this is the regular version, just because I love In Waves that much. Vengeance Falls, which is pretty underrated in my eyes. People like to shit on it, but I don't think it's that bad. We have Sin in the Sentence. We have What the Dead Men Say. And then we have In the Court of the Dragon. But yeah, now we move on to Typo Negative with Slow, Deep and Hard, Origin of the Feces, October Rust, and then Life is Killing Me. Fucking love this album. October Rust is also really good too. Then we have 3 Volbeat albums here with Seal the Deal. We have Rewind, Replay, Rebound, and then Servant of the Mind. Great stuff. And then on the end, we wrap up with a few more bands here before we get onto the final shelf. We have these Weezer CDs with Blue, Pinkerton, Green, Maladroit. Ooh, there we go. We have Make Believe. We have the White Album. We have OK Human, and then Van Weezer. And then we have White Ward. I own all of the White Ward CDs, and I'm, like I say, the proud owner of all of their CDs. And we're going to go through them. We have Origins, which is brilliantly brutal and mellow and gorgeous. We have Fluidity Report. Excellent stuff once again. Love Exchange Failure, which is equally gorgeous. Oh god, they just keep getting better. Like, the first album's good, that one's better, then that one's best. We have False Light, which I am the proud owner of the special edition of this gorgeous CD. Fucking love White Ward. Got nothing but good things to say about this band. Also, just please try and ignore everything you just saw over there. That's the result of reorganizing. This is what you're seeing around there. Like I say, you didn't hear it from me. And then on the end we have Whitesnake, of course, because why not? Can't go wrong. Right, now, final row. We're going to rapid fire through this stuff because these are the ones that have been sat around that I haven't really visited as much as I have previous. Let's go through it. So we'll start with the top row. We have Grind Madness at the BBC, which is a box set that I'm very glad that I own, because it's not exactly easy to come by, but I'm very glad that I do indeed own it. We have this Thrash compilation box set, which has the following. You can pause and look at it if you want, or equally, you cannot. We have this ZZ Top pincushion box, which has the EP. And then we have AC/DC's Back in Black special edition in this box here. Lovely stuff, isn't it? Cool. And then on the other side we have Man of the Hour, the one that plays most of these CDs you've seen here today. This is my Discman, I think people call it, or a Walkman, Discman, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, definitely comes in handy. Then we have, what do we have here? We have, I think these are my Hammer X CDs, so we have this one, we have Cadaver Soiree, and then we have the other Hammer X album there. Cool. We have Jelly Legs. Then we have these two Fear Factories albums with Obsolete and Digimortal. Okay, final row. I'm not getting all of these out because this video is long enough already, but we have the Pink Floyd there, as you can see. We have The Wall, Wish You Were Here, Dark Side of the Moon, 3 very essential albums. We have some Tool in there, we have some Escape the Fate, we have a Radiohead album, we have Sum 41, Def Leppard, obviously we have Led Zeppelin, got Korn, Hollywood Undead, we've got Crunk, can't go wrong with Crunk. We've got all of the System of a Down albums in there. You can't see Steal This album because it's poked in at the back there at the slip disc, but there it is. We have 2 Rage Against the Machine albums here, 2 very good ones at that. We have What's the Story, Morning Glory. We have a 6 Feet Under CD in there for some reason. We have Skillet. We have Creed. We have The Darkness. We have The Emergency, Alien Ant Farm, Endesma, Enshadowed. We have Rainbow. We have Arcan, Crypt of Kerberos, Kill Switch Engage. We have a Motorhead Greatest Hits. We have Cinderella, we have Silver Crush, we have My Vitriol, we have all of the Rem albums that I own here, in order I believe. We have Deicide, Living Colour, Tenacious D, and then we have my Disturbed CDs on the end with some Nightwish and some Misfits. And then finally, as a final note to end on, we have this long box of Alice Cooper with Killer, School's Out and $1 Billion Baby. Excellent. Whew, bloody hell, this has been an absolute fucking journey of a video to do, guys. But that'll wrap it up. Oh, fuck me, there's so many CDs. Thanks for getting to the end as well. Blimey, I nearly didn't, that's for sure.
And there you go, that'll do it. That was all of the CDs that I own in one video for your viewing pleasure. And by the way, for those of you watching that are wondering, yes, I know I didn't show you the vinyl that I own as well, but if we did that, we would literally be here forever, and this video is long enough. I need to let you go. I need to rest. And I also need to put all of the fucking CDs and Doctor Who DVDs above back where they belong, because my room is enough of a mess as it is. But I would like to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Blimey. That was a lot.